He is the tinfoil chef, a man with a video love.
Hey y'all, another day back at it, biking away, about 5 minutes into my 15. And I plan on doing a weigh-in tomorrow. Let's hope that it shows a loss. In any event, there is something that, while I have hinted at it in comments and even a few blog entries recently, I'm going to vent a little bit about something here. The new Star Trek movie by JJ Abrams, to say the very least, I don't like it. I mean, first of all, there's the redesign of the ship, the reimagining of the original series ship. I can see a certain amount of that, but I don't like the direction that Abrams and his design team went with that, because they came up with something that looks like a nightmare of a starship crossed with a sports car with way too much chrome on it. Who the heck ever heard of a chrome-plated starship? I mean, for crying out loud. That's ridiculous. And then, of course, there is the incredibly excessive use of lens flares. I mean, does this look good to you? With all these lens flares? I didn't think so. Enough of the lens flares. But the biggest part of it isn't even the fact that they broke the timeline. Quite. I mean, the time travel part of the show was good. It added a lot to it. The problem, however, and I think his biggest mistake, is that when he and his writers wrote Spock, they forgot one basic thing that all of us Trek fans know very well. In fact, here it is, right here.
You're about to remind me that logic alone dictates your action.
I would not remind you of that which you know so well.
And that's right. Logic alone dictates his action. Spock is a logical character. He has always been a logical character. And when they wrote the character of Spock for this movie, they didn't take that into account. Both for the younger Spock, who definitely is displaying a lot more anger and emotional response than I think maybe he should have, but for the older Spock, who did not exercise logic, because if he had, the script would have been considerably different. Or it would be set up for one hell of a sequel in which the timeline would be repaired. And the timeline must be repaired. And the reason for that is another Spockism, you might call it. And that's this right here.
Were I to invoke logic, logic clearly dictates that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
If the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, then the many in this case would consist both of the innumerable Vulcans in that situation that no longer have a homeworld, and the billions of Vulcans that were killed when Nero, the insane Romulan, destroyed the planet Vulcan. The Spock that I have watched for 40-some years would not permit that situation to continue. I mean, think about it. This older Spock, who knows where the Guardian of Forever is. He knows how to do a slingshot effect around the sun for time travel. I believe that what he should do, or should have done, he would convince the younger Spock and the young Kirk of the logical imperative that requires them to take action to fix this situation, to set the timeline back the way it was supposed to be. And that means that they would take whatever action was necessary to put the Enterprise in position so that it could be there when Nero's ship arrived from the future, and take whatever action is necessary, more than likely destroying Nero's ship, which when it first arrived from the future, they'd be able to do before Nero and his crew had a chance to recover and get the ship's defenses and weapon systems up. Now, I'm not sure how they can manage to make a whole movie out of this, but they need to. The next Star Trek movie needs to repair the timeline, because as it is, JJ Abrams has, in my opinion, ruined Star Trek. Of course, I think sooner or later, somewhere down the line, he'll pay for that. Because, well, let's just let Khan say it.
Do you know the Klingon proverb that tells us revenge is a dish that is best served cold? It is very cold in space.
That's my 2 cents worth. I'm out of here.
He is the tinfoil chef, and the frog just doesn't give a shit.
Hello all. It's Tuesday, June the 8th. I must say that it's an interesting idea that the Boob presents about the latest Star Trek movie. Wouldn't it be great if the time travel solution could be used in the real world to ensure that both Obama does not get elected and the BP oil spill does not happen? There is one new subscriber, Sweet 1987 Albi. Welcome and thank you very much for subscribing. The previous question of the day: what is your worst bad habit? Today's question of the day: do you agree that JJ Abrams should repair the Star Trek timeline? The dirty word of the day: asinine.
It's the Tinfoil Chef